All right. Well, Jody, I'm excited for us to talk again today. I am really interested in our topic that we're going to talk about independence and all the different ways that we could think about independence. And so, just for a quick introduction for those who may be joining us for the first time, my name is Julie Radico. I'm a psychologist, a consultant, coach, speaker, author. And I'm here with the amazing Jodi Banks, who is a financial consultant, and she'll tell you a little bit more about her in a moment. And I just want to invite you to share as like a financial consultant, what are the things that you're thinking about or helping your clients with related to this idea of independence?
Yes, good one, Julie. Thank you. So independence is so important, and especially as a woman. I was previously married, and I remember in that relationship, I wouldn't say I was very independent. I don't think I realized it at the time. And as the relationship played out, I realized that more and more that, I really do need to kind of take back some of that independence because we all have it, right? It's what we do with it. Some of us exercise it and some of us don't. So when I got into practice in financial advising, I realized that, wow, this is something I really want to hit home with my clients, especially women, some that are in relationships and some that aren't. To be independent, it's not about being selfish. I think in the past, I thought that, that was a very selfish way to be like, oh, I'm so independent. I can take care of myself. I got it all figured out. It's really the opposite. I think it's about being responsible and realizing that, hey, the more independent I am, the more that I can share and care for others and help my children and things along those lines. So it really was a change of a mindset for me, I would say. Not so much a milestone, but more so a mindset. And I would ask you, Julie, that same question. All the people that you speak with, and I know you're a speaker and your individual clients, independence, especially as it relates to values, how would you kind of incorporate that into some of the conversations you had with your clients?
Yeah, yeah. So we oftentimes as women, and this is relevant for everyone, I will highlight women for a moment. We're conditioned and socialized in our world, to be very communal. So, little girls are taught to listen and be polite and take care of others' feelings. And those are good, healthy things to do, right? Like, those are not bad things. What can happen though, and like very much consistent with what you're talking about, we might take on this view of, if I'm trying to then be independent and I'm trying to make decisions for myself that feel healthy for me, but maybe aren't valuing what everybody else has to say, that somehow that's a selfish thing to do. And so one of the things that I talk to my clients about, and it sounds like resonates with your clients as well, is this idea of, what are your values? So yes, your value might be family, friends. It might be that communal idea that you want to take care of others. That's noble. That's great. I often find that in addition to those, or instead of those, women have values like independence, ingenuity, striving for goals, wanting to, like, build their knowledge or learn, or like all these different things that, if we judge ourselves and say, oh, if I'm putting myself first in any kind of way, whether that's financially planning or, like saying no to something I don't want to do, then somehow that means that I'm not being kind enough or I'm being selfish. In those moments, I encourage people to lean back on, well, what are your values? What do you value? And if you're telling me my number one value is put other people first, then that's what you got. Like, that is your value, and honor that. If you're telling me your number one value is something else, like it is something that is your internal drive, then honor that, because you can be communal and take care of others still while honoring that value. However, there are moments and important times in your life where you need to come first. It's that idea of putting your own, airbag on, like the mask on in a plane. They tell you, put your oxygen mask, there you go, on first, because that's the only way you can really help somebody else.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I'm laughing because even though our industries are so different, again, another huge commonality between you and I, Julie, I tell my clients that all the time. I'll have my mom clients, right, say to me, "Oh, I want to make sure that I have the college funds for my children set up." I said, "Hey, that's great. I'm a mom too. Of course, we all want to take care of our children, and we have to take care of our children. But let's first take care of ourselves." And I use that example. I say, if you don't have the mask on yourself, you're not going to be able to put the mask on your children, right? So that's important because the healthier you are, whether it's finance, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, pick something, the healthier your children are going to be because you're the example and they're always watching. So thank you for saying that. That is so impactful, Julie. And it really makes a difference in my practice as well. So I might encourage that particular client, like, hey, we can definitely set aside money for the kids. I love that idea. But let's first set money aside for ourselves. And the better position we're in, the more that we'll be able to help our kids in those other areas, whether it's finance, mentally, emotionally, whatever. And then everybody ends up winning in that situation. And it's a stronger outcome, I think.
100%. Yeah, I'm really struck. I think about, and you, I know, have more knowledge than me on this, and I'm curious about your thoughts. But just as you were talking, yeah, we want to put money aside for college funds and to support, our kids in the future. That's noble. That's important. Let's do it. Um, and then I think hear stories about people who get toward retirement and they don't have any savings, especially women, that maybe they're reliant on a partner in the most kind and, like trusting way. And then it's like, oh, but you're going to live 15 years longer than your partner if they've passed, and what do you do then? And this idea of, well, everybody else is going to take care of me. I'm sure there are heartbreaking stories where it's like, no, like other people are putting themselves first, and maybe not in a cruel way, but in a way of like, I'm sorry, I can't support you. I wish I could, but I can't. And then where does that leave you if you've constantly put others before you throughout your whole life? It leaves you like really stuck and maybe in a scary place of like, what do I do?
It really does. That was very well said, Julie. And I've seen that a bunch of times. I've never met a child who then becomes a young adult that said to me, "Wow, I really wish my mom never took care of herself as well as she did and, and had all of these financial abundances and her mental clarity and her emotional state of well-being and peace." I've never heard a child or young adult say, "Well, I really wish my mom never did all those things," because the more full that she is and the more healthier she is, that child sees that. And I've also never met a child that said, "Wow, when I grow up, I really just want to take care of my mom and my dad for that matter, right? I want to be
Mhm.
their caregiver." I mean, we all have a great, gracious heart. And it's not that we wouldn't do it if we had to, but I don't really know that it's at the top of anyone's list. Like, wow, that would be the number one thing I want to do, because we all have our responsibilities, right? Going back to being independent, it's not selfish, it's a responsibility. We all have, whether it's our own families or, our position in our job and career, or with neighbors and friends. I mean, pick a social communal group that you were talking about earlier. So yeah, I think our kids, the more that we selflessly take care of ourselves, our values, our independence, they are going to be much, much happier about that. They're going to be healthier for it. And then hopefully they learn from the example that we set and they end up mimicking us and doing the same thing, right?
Yes, yeah. So, two thoughts struck me resonating with what you're saying. One is why we titled our series here, like Know Your Worth, that you hold value, and you hold values, but you also are worth caring for and worth investing in. And then the other thought that comes to mind is just like putting all of this together in the greatest kindness you can do for someone else is for them not to have to worry about you, right? So when you're talking about, yeah, I've never heard a kid be like, wow, I'm so mad mom like invested in herself and like, made good financial decisions. Like, right. They would be like, wow, thanks mom for like doing this so that now I don't have to be as worried about you. Like, I know you're taken care of. I know you're okay. Like, the greatest kindness is taking care of ourselves for
Mhm.
other people. Like, and if your values are, well, families first, great, that's an honorable value. Be sure that you are taking care of yourself in such a way that you really are putting your family first. That
Mhm.
like they're not then having to worry and like depleting their emotional, spiritual, social, mental, financial health to take care of you in a way that if you would invest in yourself and give yourself time and space and value yourself, that then they would not have to worry as much. Like that is the true kindness that you can do for others is take care of yourself in such a way that then they don't have to be as sandwiched, if they're trying to take care of their own kids and then they're trying to take care of you, which they probably will and want to if they can. But that is something that if we can be proactive about, so much better to do so.
Absolutely. And Julie, as we wrap up here, that was so perfectly said. We encourage all the viewers out there, claim your independence, set your goals, take action, speak your truth, know what your values are, and be an example and claim it. You deserve it. You're worth it. Your family's worth it, your coworkers, your friends, your community, everyone around you is worth it. And they'll love you so much more for doing so. And everyone will be a better person as a result of it. So listeners, thank you so much. We hope that you enjoyed this. Drop us a message. Let us know your thoughts, share. We'd love to hear everything and anything that you have to say. And thanks so much for tuning in.